All right, I would like to begin tonight, and I'm going to pick a victim here first, and that will happen to be an Air Force man by the name of James Hill from Jefferson Township. James, come on up. How are you? And if I get things wrong as I'm reading it, folks, just tap me on the shoulder. Air Force veteran, and please, Assemblywoman DeCrose and Prosecutor Knapp, please come up, and Sheriff's Officer Turcott. Good, thank you. Air Force veteran James Hill of Jefferson Township grew up in the U.S. and Germany as the son of an Air Force serviceman. He graduated from Kaiserslautern American High School. Did I do it?
Kaiserslautern.
Kaiserslautern? Say it. Wait, you say it.
Kaiserslautern.
There we go. High school in Germany, where he participated in soccer, basketball, baseball, and teen club. He earned a Bachelor's of Arts degree from Davis and Elkins College, a master's degree in education from the University of Massachusetts. Military training and service include undergraduate pilot training, Class 7004, Moody Air Force Base, Valdosta, Georgia, advanced survival training course, combat crew training course, and PACAF. Do you pronounce that, or do you say it all? PACAF. PACAF Jungle Survival Course. I wasn't there, I'm sorry. He served with the 22nd Tactical Air Support Squadron, headquartered at Tan Son Nhut Air Force Base in Vietnam, and ran most missions out of Tay Ninh Airfield. He also served with the 99th Air Refueling Squadron of the 99th Bomb Wing at Westover Air Force Base in Massachusetts. Among his medals, the Air Medal with 5 oak leaf clusters. After honorable discharge from the Air Force, James worked as an assistant director of the Marshall Jackson Mental Health Center in Scottsboro, Alabama. Continuing with counseling, he worked at Passaic Valley Regional High School in Little Falls. 3 years later, he switched to Passaic County Technical and Vocational High School. Says James, quote, "I love being a high school guidance counselor and retired after 40 years in that vocation." Now he and his wife travel for pleasure when they can. They enjoy family gatherings and events with their local senior center and American Legion Post. James is president of the Golden Age Club in Milton and works at Porta's Karate Do Academy, where he teaches, and we're going to give this a shot, Okinawan Goju-ryu, Okinawan Goju-ryu, and he will demonstrate for us right now. Mr. James Hill. Congratulations. No one messes with this veteran, I'm telling you right now. I saw Emerson going, what do I do here? Do you do karate? Next on our list, we're going to go to the Army this time, and we're going to pick on Todd Stawicki. Todd, please come on up. Hey, Todd. How are you, buddy? Todd Stawicki, freeholder, happens to come from Roxbury. He grew up in Bridgewater and attended Bridgewater Raritan High School, where he participated in cross-country, track and field, peer mediation, and Boy Scouts, earning his Eagle Scout badge. After graduation in 2004, he attended the United States Military Academy. At West Point, he earned a Bachelor of Science degree in American Politics in 2007. After graduation, Todd was commissioned as an infantry officer. He served in the Army for 7.5 years with 1 deployment to Iraq in 2009-10 and 1 deployment to Afghanistan in 2013. He also was stationed at Fort Benning, Georgia, Fort Riley, Kansas, Fort Hood, Texas. Todd was awarded the Army Commendation Medal 4 times, Afghanistan Campaign Medal, Iraq Army Campaign Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Army Service Ribbon, 2 Overseas Ribbons, NATO Medal, Combat Action Badge, Parachutist Badge, and Air Assault Badge. After leaving the Army, Todd became a project manager at Panasonic in 2014, and he recently accepted a position at WIS Engineering as a program manager working over at Picatinny Arsenal. Todd married the lovely, and I met her, Nicole Dvorak, On July 4th, 2015, raise your hand, Nicole. The couple purchased their first home in Roxbury. In January 2016, a few months later, adopted their dog, Loco. Todd volunteers with the West Point Field Force, where he mentors local high school students who are interested in attending West Point. His favorite hobby is baseball. He has been to every Major League Baseball stadium, and he may tell you his favorite when he comes up to get his medal. Please, a hand for Todd Stawicki. Two Roxbury residents talking to each other now. Something about garbage collection or roads or... We are next going to pick on the U.S. Army again, and that is a young man who has his 6-week-old baby with him, as well as his other son and wife, Mohammed Abdul Aziz of Rockaway Township. Mohammed? Welcome. He said the baby will stay quiet because he's in charge. That's what he told me. He said, but if not, the freeholders have to watch the baby. So, Mohammed Abdul Aziz of Rockaway Township graduated from, and tell me if this is right, Aded High School?
Hated, yes.
Aided High School in Sylhet, Bangladesh.
Right.
And he was an avid soccer, cricket, and badminton player. Prior to moving to the U.S., Mohammed received a Bachelor of Science degree at East West College in Bangalore, India. He joined the Army as a specialist on April 2009 through a recruiting office in Sunnyside, Queens. He went to basic training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and advanced individual training at Aberdeen Proving Ground in Maryland. After training, he was sent to the 1st Armor Division, Special Troops Battalion at Wiesbaden, Germany, serving as a specialist on power generation equipment maintenance, 91D. However, due to injuries sustained during service, his advancement options were limited. He took an honorable discharge in June 2010. Mohammed received the Army Commendation Medal for exceptionally meritorious service. And while serving in the Army, he became a naturalized U.S. citizen. After the military, Mohammed returned to Bangladesh, and he says this, quote, I went there to look for my soulmate, and luckily, I found her, and we were married immediately. And I think that's her right there. And a year later, we had a baby boy. And now there's a second one. It took a year to bring the family to the U.S. through the immigration process. And as a husband and father, Mohammed looked to the future, earning a Bachelor of Science degree in Information Systems Management from NYU in 2015. A few months later, he landed a civilian job as a computer scientist with the Army at Picatinny Arsenal, where he has worked for more than 4 years. Last year, he and his wife purchased a home in Rockaway Township and expanded their family with the arrival, as I said, of their second son. Says Mohammed, and I quote, I truly believe that serving in the Army helped me to build my career. So I would like to thank the U.S. Army for giving me the opportunity to serve this country, and also special thanks to Morris County for honoring me. Mohammed Abdul Aziz.
Congratulations.
Now, he does cricket, and we have badminton here. We had karate. I'm not sure what some of these other folks can offer. We'll be looking to see what your specialties are. And we're staying with the Army at this point. And a man I had the pleasure to speak on the phone to recently. We're glad he's here, Mr. Samuel Sisco of Mine Hill, U.S. Army. Sam, come on up. Hey, thank you. Pleasure. Samuel J. Sisco, Jr. of Mine Hill grew up in Dover. He is a graduate of the class of 1963 at Dover High School, where he participated in football and baseball. In fact, this was the last graduating class at the old high school in Dover in a building that long housed, and I think it's the Kubert School of Art. After high school, Sam attended a vocational school in Union where he studied heating, refrigeration, and air conditioning. Just 10 days after turning 21, on a day Sam remembers very well, June 3rd, 1965, he got a letter from Uncle Sam saying, "You've been drafted by the U.S. Army. Come on in." Sam completed basic training at Fort Dix, later went to armor school at Fort Knox. A member of Headquarters Company 69th Armor, he was deployed to Vietnam for 18 months, stationed in Pleiku and Cu Chi and Saigon before coming home in 1967. He returned home and went back to his pre-military employer, Airtron in Morris Plains, where he worked for 25 years. He later was employed for 15 years at Johansson's in Rockaway Township, and then ended his career with 10 years in the Mendham School District. Today, Sam says he mostly keeps busy helping take care of 3 wonderful grandchildren, Nathan, Ellie, and Juliana. Are they here? Yes. Good, where are they? Raise your hands, kids. He also has a daughter, Christina, and a sister, Rose, who is here tonight. Unfortunately, Sam lost his 2 brothers to illness, Victor and Charlie. Mr. Sisco remains active in the American Legion Post 91 in Wharton, and it is a great pleasure tonight to welcome Samuel J. Sisco. Sam. And Sam is also in need of babysitting, so if anybody here would like to volunteer, you can sign up here. We have a pen and put your name down. See, Mr. Gleason says he'll do it. Okay, we have not touched on the U.S. Navy tonight, so let's call up Kim Hawkins of Rockaway Township, U.S. Navy. Kim? It is a pleasure to meet Kim, and you're going to be interested in her story, actually. I find it fascinating. Kim Hawkins of Jefferson Township grew up in St. Louis, we won't hold it against you, where she attended Pattonville Senior High School and participated in theater, debate, soccer, softball, and music. Kim signed up for the U.S. Navy in 1985, right in Times Square, New York. She went to basic training in Orlando, Florida, A School ASM Hydraulics in Millington, Tennessee, and flight training in Pensacola, Florida, and Beeville, Texas. Am I close? Okay.
Close enough.
Good. Her final duty station was Naval Air Station Miramar in San Diego, where she was assigned to the VF-124 Gunfighter Squadron, and where she was trained to fix and fly F-14s. She had numerous deployments on board the USS Carl Vinson, the USS Enterprise, the USS Ranger, the USS Forrestal. She advanced to PO E5 and served during Gulf War I, Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Her awards include Sharpshooter, Southeast Asia Medal, Good Conduct Medal, Cold War Defense Certification. And then Kim served in the Naval Reserves after her regular enlistment. Now, here are some very interesting facts about Kim's post-war career. Kim is a graduate of Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Clown College and holds a certificate in clowning circus arts. But that's not all. She earned an associate's degree in animation from the City College of San Diego. She earned a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from the Art Center in Pasadena. She has an associate's degree in acting from the American Academy of Dramatic Arts and a BA in Fine Arts at the Art Center in Pasadena, and she worked for all major film studios as an animator. Kim also, in her spare time, she worked for the National Park Service as an interpretive park ranger in Acadia National Park, Yosemite National Park, and Point Reyes National Seashore. and now she works for the Smithsonian Cooper Hewitt Design Museum as a registrar. Her hobbies include performing clowning and magic shows, writing novels for young adults, leather crafts, stained glass, drawing, and painting. Wow. Kim Hawkins. Thank you. I didn't ask if she did karate. I was afraid that I know what the answer would be. And when I read her resume, I must tell you, I looked and it was like, it's amazing. That's really unbelievable. I felt like I was doing nothing all these years. Maybe I was. U.S. Army's up next, and we have a young lady from Mount Olive by the name of Donna M. Scheel. Donna? Hello, Donna. It's a pleasure to have you here. Donna M. Scheel of Bud Lake grew up in Orchard Park, New York, and she graduated from Immaculata Academy, where she participated in drama and Girl Scouting. She attended State University of New York at Plattsburgh, where she earned a BA in communications and a master's degree in media and technology at Boston University. She is a certified public manager as well. Donna signed up for delayed entry into the U.S. Army in October 1976, when active in April of 1977. She trained as a broadcast journalist at the Defense Information School, Fort Benjamin Harrison in Indiana. Her first duty station was in Frankfurt, Germany, at the headquarters of the American Forces Network, and later at CONUS, Fort Gordon, Georgia Public Affairs Office. Is it CONUS?
Oh, yeah, CONUS.
Okay. Donna's citations include Army Commendation Medal, Good Conduct Medal, Army Service Ribbon, Overseas Service Ribbon, NCO Professional Development Ribbon, German Army Marksmanship Badge in bronze. Following her service, Donna worked for 17 years in the New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce Development as a disabled veteran outreach program interviewer. She also has worked as a local veterans employment representative, state veterans coordinator, and program coordinator. She currently is the director for the U.S. Department of Labor's Veterans Employment and Training. Donna was married for more than 41 years to the late Stephen M. Scheel, a Vietnam veteran who lost his life as a result of exposure to Agent Orange. She is the mother of 2 beautiful daughters and 1 fantastic grandson. Donna M. Scheel. And I'm going to ask Connor Scheel. Where's Connor? Connor, come on up with me, please. You can stand right here with me. Our next presentation is to the late Stephen H. Scheel of Mount Olive, U.S. Army. And standing next to me is his grandson, Connor Scheel. Connor Scheel. The late Stephen M. Scheel of Bud Lake grew up as an Air Force brat, living all over the world. He graduated from Englewood High School, where he participated in drama, Boy Scouts, and football. He entered the U.S. Army in Memphis, Tennessee, soon after basic training in AIT as a flight operations coordinator. And he was deployed to Vietnam in 1968 and 69. How am I doing? Okay, good, all right. For his service, Stephen was awarded the Vietnam Campaign Medal with 60 device, Army Commendation Medal, Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, Vietnam Cross of Gallantry with Palm. He returned stateside after serving in Vietnam and later was stationed in Korea as well. After Korea, Stephen went to the Defense Information School at Fort Benjamin Harrison, Indiana, to become a broadcast journalist for his last 9 years of service. He was stationed at the American Forces Network headquarters in Frankfurt, Germany, and then at Fort Gordon, Georgia. and back to Korea with a final stop at Fort Devens in Massachusetts. Stephen attended County College of Morris, earned a BA in history at Centenary College, and a master's in education at Fairleigh Dickinson University. He worked at a commercial radio stations here in Massachusetts and Jersey, and after completing his schooling, he worked with students who were having issues in school and couldn't attend normal classes. His last job was the New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce Development and Unemployment Insurance. He was married for more than 41 years to his loving wife, Donna, who was just with us, before he lost his battle to his exposure to Agent Orange. He left behind 2 beautiful daughters and 1 fantastic grandson. Accepting this medal tonight for Stephen Scheel is his grandson, Connor Scheel. Connor? And Connor kept looking over and saying to me, "You're doing okay. You got it. Keep going there, buddy." I mean, his grandpa and grandma were in information and communication, so he knows his stuff here. And last up tonight, but very much not the least, of course, is another member of the U.S. Army, and a gentleman sitting right in the middle here by the name of Leonard Gleason of Morristown, U.S. Army. Please, Leonard, can we have Leonard come up? Hello, Leonard. How are you, buddy? Thank you, sir. Oh, you're welcome. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Leonard Gleason of Morristown, U.S. Army, is a World War II era veteran. He was born in 1927 to Stella and Harvey Glukowski. He grew up in Jersey City, where he went to high school and played baseball. Prior to the service, Leonard worked for Curtiss Wright, making airplane parts for the military. And he was working as a driver for an electric company when he enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1946 at age 19. Leonard trained and attended Ordnance School in Aberdeen, Maryland. He was stationed in Japan as part of the Japan Occupation Army. He says he remembers that long train ride across the country to the West Coast, where he then had to board a ship after the train ride to head to Asia. He is proud of serving in Japan under General Douglas MacArthur. He served for 2 years in Japan, where he was in charge of truck convoys delivering supplies to MacArthur's headquarters. Leonard received the Army of Occupation Medal and the World War II Victory Medal. When he returned to the States, he worked full-time at raising a family while attending night school at Rutgers. He received a business degree at Rutgers and later earned a master's degree in hospital administration at Pace University. He was employed for many years as a hospital administrator, manager of urgent care centers, and in pharmaceutical sales. He was very active and athletic, loved skiing, golf, fishing, horseback riding, and spending time with his family at the Jersey Shore and Point Pleasant. And he was a member of the American Legion in Morristown for many years. Leonard had 1 brother, 3 sisters, including surviving sister Stephanie, 2 sons, Leonard and Bobby. Friend. And a friend. He married his current wife, Elaine. Elaine, raise your hand. Elaine, there we go, 36 years ago. And she has 3 children, Stephanie, Amy, and Jonathan. And Leonard also has 6 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. Today, Mr. Gleason raises tomatoes, collects coins, loves to read and birdwatch, spend time with his family, and fix things around the house. And I could use you around my house, Leonard. His wife, Elaine, told me, and I quote, "Leonard is the proudest veteran you will ever meet." And he will be celebrating tomorrow his 92nd birthday. So please, congratulations and happy birthday to Leonard Gleason. Leonard. Can you get that? You got them? Take your time. Okay. And I would tell you that most of the people who came here today sent some information to us, and for most of them, we had to kind of pull some of the information from them and encourage them to say something about themselves. One young man here, who I will not mention by name, I was told felt a little bit like his resume may not be good enough, and I couldn't disagree with him more. So everybody in this room deserves to be here and earn these medals. So for that man, thank you for coming.